Alright guys, so with the release of Tatin cookie as well as Snapdragon cookie, I think it's about time for me to update the PvP tier list for the arena June 2023. And of course, before I hop into the actual tier list, I do want to let you guys know that this is going to be based on my opinion as well as my experience inside of the pure vanilla server. And honestly speaking, the meta might slightly be different depending on what server you guys are playing. So pure vanilla, holoberry, and dark account might have a slight difference in the defense cookies for the top 100 because each individual server might follow a slightly different trend. And for this particular tier list, guys, I just want to quickly just go over all the cookies in the bottom tier. These cookies are like the D tier, C tier, as well as B tier are just going to be decent cookies. You guys can use them, especially if you guys are just starting out, but I highly recommend to not invest a ton into these cookies unless they kind of overlap with the PvE tier list, which I'll release soon as well. But for the arena right now, with the current meta, if you guys are planning to use them further into the meta, then I highly recommend you guys to invest in cookies from the S, SS, as well as the meta, and try to stay away from the bottom tier. All right, but one thing that I do want to add here is that Tarte cookie is going to be added to the A tier as of right now for the PvP. She has a very unique skill, but it's really hard to take advantage of inside of the arena, at least as of right now, because her kit is going to be based on the amount of kills that she is able to do. However, because the cookies are so tanky and because they are safeguarded and the battle goes on until like 1 minute, even the 30-second mark, Tatin is not able to really shine. She definitely does way better within the PvE aspect of things, so I will add her into that later on. But for the arena, Tatin is going to be around good A tier as of right now. All right, so these cookies right here are going to be the bottom half of the tier list. They are, again, can be used, especially the A tier, but besides that, I would say try to stay away from it if possible. Now, moving on to the meta, these cookies are going to be the ones that are going to really, make up the majority of the cookies inside of the arena. And starting off, of course, it's still going to be pure vanilla as well as holoberry, the two ancient cookies. And then we have our BTS still going to be in the meta because, people are not able to get Snapdragon right away, and they might have still already invested in BTS. Still really, really good, stun immunity and all that stuff. So good there. We have Stardust as well as Moonlight. They still haven't lost their position yet. We have Capsaicin as well as Pattaya. So I have taken your advice, and I do completely agree with you guys, especially after the release of Snapdragon, that Capsaicin is going to be used a lot more frequent than Madeline. And then last one is going to be Sherbet. I released a video yesterday talking about the Sherbet comp, and Sherbet is actually really, really, really good inside of the arena right now, even without Frost Queen. So I highly recommend you guys check that video out, and I believe that Sherbet is going to be part of the meta for the June 2023. And before we hop into the SS tier, I do want to add Snapdragon into this because without a doubt, Snapdragon is going to be the meta right now. Definitely in majority of the cases way better than BTS, and definitely going to shut down specific cookies like even Pinecone, all right, indirectly, because you're not immune to stun, you're just resistant to stun, so you're not even going to be taking that extra damage from Pinecone's stun immunity extra damage. So that's even better right now. You still get out of stuns really, really quickly, you get out of sleeps really, really quickly with the debuff resist. And on top of that, you do get attack, you get shield, you get damage resist, and all of that stuff as well. So super, super good, and highly recommend you guys to log in at least, every 5 days or so to pull for Snapdragon for free as a free-to-play player. So now moving on to the SS tier is going to be Madeline with the Magic Candy. We got Queen of Man, we got Molotov with the Magic Candy, we got Brute, we got Blueberry Pie, Frost Queen, we got Space Donut still, Black Pearl, Squid Ink with the Magic Candy, we got Captain Caviar, and we got Cream Puff with the Magic Candy. So within the SS tier that I want to kind of talk about is going to be Madeline. Madeline, again, because of the release of Snapdragon, has been pushed out a little bit. Not completely meta, but still attack speed comp is still really, really good, guys. But just keep in mind, because Snapdragon provides a decent amount of damage resist right off the bat, it is gotten a lot harder to kill off some of the enemies right away with the attack speed comp. So please be aware of that when you guys are using your same comp as before. And then another one that I want to kind of talk about is going to be Blueberry Pie, because of the release of Snapdragon, and with the stun resistant rather than stun immunity, Blueberry Pie has been kind of indirectly been buffed. Of course, there is still that damage resist, but because you are able to gain stacks now with stuns like Brood, as well as with like Hollowberry's stacks as well, you're able to at least provide a little bit more stacks a lot faster, rather than just being completely shut down by BTS using Brood. So with that, there has been a little indirect buff that Blueberry Pie has received, and still people are still using like the Blueberry Pie one shot. But I do recommend, if you guys have the chance, just create the Stardust one shot, which is going to be probably the best one right now. All right, and that's going to be the SS tier. Now moving on to the S tier is going to be Wildberry. We got Werewolf with the Magic Candy. We got Purple Yam with the Magic Candy. Milky Way is now going to be an S tier. Have not seen too many Milky Ways anymore, because it's either going to be, Space Donut just directly being the single tank for the one shot. And then we got Red Velvet. We got Vampire with the Magic Candy. We got Eclair. We got Prune Juice. We got Pine Cone. We got Espresso with the Magic Candy. Latte with the Magic Candy. Herb, as well as Parfait. All right, so these cookies are still decently really good. They do pretty darn well in carrying you guys throughout the lower ranks of the arena, especially if you guys are able to create the Magic Candy for them, like Latte and Espresso. And Pinecone, still really good. Prune Juice actually going to still be pretty decent with the poison damage to deal with someone like Capsaicin as well. We got Red Velvet one-shot comp, still really good. Still being used here and there. We got Parfait and Herb, the other two support / healers that are still being used inside of the arena to counter like one-shot comps and be a replacement for BTS or Snapdragon. And we got the tanks. They are decent, but of course the number one top pick is going to be Hollowberry, and then Pattaya, and then Capsaicin right now. So this is pretty much going to be the PvP tier list for June 2023. I kind of went over it really quickly, but I think this is going to be a good general overview. And of course, if you guys want to find the specific videos, specific comps that you might be able to use inside of the arena, check out my individual videos that I showcase, specific teams that I am currently using, that I have tested and saw pretty decent results inside of the pure vanilla server. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I will update you guys with the PvE tier list very soon. But while you're at that, try to check out my other videos, and I'll see you guys over there.